Today, what I want to talk about is something a lot of people struggle with. A lot of people feel that money's hard to get. A lot of people feel that money is something that doesn't flow easily. Have you ever felt if money was scarce? Have you ever said the words, money doesn't grow on trees? Have you ever said the words that money doesn't buy happiness? If you have, I want to talk to you a little bit, and I want to share some tips and some 5 tips on how to make more money, but also want to share some light into the money mindset, because I believe people have they have some paradigms in their head that they believe from when they were younger. I know I was told when I was younger by, lots of people, not my parents. They really didn't put us in scarcity, but a lot of people say, well, money doesn't grow on trees, or money doesn't buy you happiness, and that's what I want to talk about specifically. So this statement, money can't buy you happiness, what the heck does that mean? What is the real truth behind that? People say that money doesn't make you happier, that you can be happy without money, and I agree with that. I totally agree with that, but I can tell you this: poverty doesn't buy you happiness. I can tell you that. Being broke doesn't buy you happiness. Struggling from paycheck to paycheck doesn't buy you happiness. The root of all evil is not money. The root of all evil is the love of money. To love it, to lust after it, to yearn for it. But I believe if you say things like, we can't afford it, or money doesn't grow on trees, and you're telling your kids that, you're wiring something deep in their brain that they're going to stick with them forever. And so let me say this: if someone tells you that money doesn't grow on money doesn't buy you happiness, that person's not happy. I can tell you that. Who says that? Who goes, well, money doesn't buy you happiness? Happy people don't say that. They don't say that. Why would they say that? That doesn't even make sense. So you need to kick words like that out of your vocabulary. Things about scarcity and money. You need to think about abundance. You need to think about prosperity and money flowing to you, because really, what does money do? It gives you options to be able to kind of do what you feel like you want to do or you need to do. It gives you the ability. It gives you resources to do things. So I want to share 5 tips on how you can earn more money that I learned from a couple millionaires today. And they're pretty generic, but the reason why they're generic is because specifically I can't talk to every single person that jumps on this video and tell them exactly how to implement it in their business, but what I can say are some basic tips. So the first step is you have to have a positive attitude and work on yourself consistently. The big shift that I had in my business was that I've dedicated 2 full years of personal development, growing as a person, gaining more skills, becoming more valuable in the marketplace, so that I can deliver more content, that I can help people, that I can add value to people. So step 1 is you have to consistently grow and consistently to have a positive attitude, because if you have a negative attitude, negative stuff's going to flow to you, not anything positive. So the second step, get around those that will raise you up as often as possible. A lot of people are stuck in situations where they're surrounded by people who do not serve them, by people who do not lift them up. They're stuck by people who, for lack of a better word, it's like a clam in a bucket. When you try to come out, they're going to just pull you back down. They don't raise you up, they push you down. And you are the aggregate of your 5 closest friends. And so if the people that you're hanging around with are taking things away from your life, how is that going to help you? Second step is surround yourself with people who are going to lift you up. The third one is you need to have a system on making money. Not just trading your time for money and going working a job. You're never going to get financially free with that. You're never going to have more than basically need to make the bills in maybe a trip or 2 a year, 1 trip a year. Wow. You have to have a system. You have to have something so developed that you can plug anything into it and it's going to work, and it's going to work for you. That's the third step, is to have a system. And a system takes time, because nothing great happens overnight. It takes time to develop a system. It takes time to develop processes. It takes time to develop something great. That's the third step. The fourth step, do a work that will expose people to your system. So whatever your work is, you have to expose people to what you're doing. You have to get out there and show what you're doing and expose it. In my business, it's prospecting and it's marketing. I've got to expose my opportunity to people. I've got to show people what I'm doing so that I can bring them in. You know, if you are a chiropractor, You've got to expose what you're doing to people so that they will come in and get your services. But you got to expose the system. Like, you come in, we're going to do a wellness overview, then we're going to put you on a plan so that you come in frequently so that we can get you adjusted. You've got to have a system that works, and then you got to expose people to that system. That's the fourth step. And the fifth step is get around those who have accomplished way more than you have, so that you can rethink your system and see what works. You have to get around those who are a step above you. Here's the thing. When we coach basketball in our summer league, we always start with freshmen that are about to go to sophomores. And what we do for each of the year, freshman, sophomore, junior, we always play them up one grade level. So we might have 10th graders and they're going to be playing against juniors. We always play up, because the reason why we play up is that when you're around those that have more skills, you're going to grow. And if you're around those who have less skills than you, you're not going to grow. They've always said this, and people have said this, and they'll say this till the end of time. If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. Let that sink in. If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. So, how do you do that? Well, one way to get around people who, you got to find out whatever your niche is and whatever you're going to do. You got to find out what you want to do. Then you got to go in that space, and you're going to have to do some research to figure out who are the players and who are not the players. Then when you find out the players, you got to inject yourself in their circle, and by whatever means possible. You know, they always said this, that there was Thomas Edison, in the book Think and Grow Rich, it talks about it a lot. But Thomas Edison was a great inventor, a great developer. Yeah, everybody knows about Thomas Edison, right? Well, a lot of people don't know about Barnes. Barnes was the ones that pushed his product. Barnes had a vision. He said, I'm going to work with Thomas Edison. And so he got on a train, went into Thomas Edison's office, and they said in Think and Grow Rich, said he was almost like a hobo. He wasn't all cleaned and did up, but he went to the inventor's office and said, I will work with you. And he wasn't saying, I'm going to work in your business. He said, I'm going to partner with you. I'm going to be your business partner. He didn't know how, but he knew that if he took action, it would happen. And so what he did is he injected himself into Thomas Edison's circle, and through that, he was able to become his partner, and eventually it would said, made by Edison, sold by Barnes. So he was a direct partner with him because he because he got into his circle. And so I'm going to tell you, whatever you're wanting to do, you have to get with those who have what you want. Get with those who've had the success you want so that you can model their success. You can get their mentorship. You can get their coaching, and they can help you cut off years in your learning process.